Okay, so I went ahead and I put the rails back on, and no more ripping paint off anymore. So there it is, that's the finished product. Okay, hey there. So we're trying to project. This was all damaged and the paint was coming up. So got this 100 grit. Probably should have like 95 grit. Probably could have an actual palm sander and that would go faster, but I sanded it by hand right up here, and then got another one right there. And we're gonna try and repaint this, but as you know, everything takes longer than you think, so just be ready for that. I do have some black paint, and maybe by tomorrow I'll have this painted if I'm lucky. Okay, so I went ahead and I got smart. I went to Walmart and I bought this for about 30 bucks today. It has a little dust catcher. This is the brand Hyper Tough. I'm not keen on brands, but anyway, yeah, I mean it does the job. Has a little on-off switch. Yeah, the one thing I will say about these sanders, I probably should line that up a little better, but if you do not line this up with your 5-inch paper, you will lose your grip, because it's just, you just pull it on and you pull it off. It's Velcro, so be careful to line up those holes so your Velcro won't go out. Okay, another thing too, in retrospect, I probably could have gotten just a straight sander, but I just like this little one. It's a palm sander because I did a lot of project work with it. But yeah, excuse the mess. Nicole hasn't taken her laundry up the stairs yet. Yeah, so we're gonna knock off this paint, and Zoe's gonna help me paint it. Right, Zoe? Yeah? Who else is gonna help me paint? Okay, hey there, YouTube. So I kind of gave up on getting the black out with just a regular sander. I tried these sanding blocks. They're like $5.38 at Walmart. I boogered up that edge. But anyway, I'm just like, man, maybe I should just bought brand new handrails and installed them. That might have been a better idea. I don't know, maybe this way's cheaper, but it sure isn't if you're paying somebody by the hour, in my opinion. But I don't know. So this rail, I knocked all the way down, and I got super mad at Blake because he just went to the store. I said, Blake, get 2 bags for snacks. He comes back with 2 grocery bags. I'm so upset with him. He's going on a trip, and he's Mr. Healthy, and he usually doesn't eat sugar. So when he said, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get a few snacks for the trip, I assumed he was just getting 2 little bags, you know, like a bag of Twix, a bag of Kit Kat, whatever. Anyway, he comes back with 2.5 grocery bags, and I was ticked. So I said, Blake, you have to come help me sand and work off that debt that you just gave yourself by overspending. I said, yeah, I mean, what can you expect from a teenager to use logic and common sense? They're always just gonna take you for all you're worth. Gosh. Anyway, but yeah, so I'm still here trying to get this black off, and then we'll paint it. Okay. I told Blake, I'm taking a break while you do dishes. And guess who's sanding? Just got back from the gym. Say cheese! Anyway, I might take these off the wall.
I almost just spilled on you in my hand.
Okay, so we finally decided on a color for the wood. And after like, I don't know, 4.5, maybe 6 or 7 hours of sanding, I guess I could have sanded faster if I found the 60 grit that fit my sander. But anyway, the part that took me the longest I'm just getting the paint out from right there, those little crevices. Anyway, so we wanted to go dark again so that way when people's hands touch the handrail, you know, we won't always have to clean them, clean the handrails. But here's the stain that we got. This is the mini wax. Color we had was dark walnut. Camera will focus, I don't know. Yeah, dark walnut 2716. Anyway, I'll read you some of the directions for staining. So you want to test the stain if you're not sure what kind of color you want on a different spot. Stir the stain well, but do not shake it. Do not thin the stain. Okay, wipe away the excess, working with wood grain to blend lighter / darker areas together. The longer you wait, the darker or richer the color. So if you really wipe it off soon, you'll get a light color. If you want to darken the color, you can recoat after 2 hours. Do not sand between coats if happy with the color. Let dry completely before applying a protective top coat. Okay, so as you know, stain is oil based, and so what you want to do is when you're done with your brush, make sure you clean it. Okay, just get some paint thinner. Got that for Walmart for like 17 bucks. And you want to paint in a well ventilated area. Get in some clothes that you don't care about. Luckily my hands stayed pretty clean. I was pretty careful, but you saw my workbench took a hit for the stain, but that's okay with me. Anyway, so there are some places that I forgot to paint, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this dry for 2 hours, and then I'm gonna flip it over, and I'm gonna get the sides, like underneath here, I didn't get that piece. I'm gonna get those sides. But yeah, so a project that you think would take long will take even longer. So there they are, but this is better than what they were before.
Hey! Yes?
That was dangerous. Where's your helmet? Okay, so just make sure when you do stain, if you want it to be a nice product, make sure you go back and you really wipe off the stain. That was my mistake. I was using a sponge brush. So I would recommend get some latex gloves and put those on after you're done painting it with whatever you want to paint it with, and then just wipe it down with those with a rag to get all the stain off. Okay, so this is what happens if you don't. It'll take longer than you want to dry. And anyway, I mean, you can go back later and sand these, but I'm just, at this point, I've spent way too much time on these, and so I need to move on. But, you know, from a distance, nobody's really gonna worry about what they look, but I turn them over so they'll dry in the sun. That can help them dry faster. But yeah, so I'm learning too as I'm doing this, because I haven't stained for a while. It's been a while since I've had a project. But yeah, so in retrospect, you know, make sure you go through and really wipe off the excess stain, and then you'll have a good product. Okay, so something else you can try. I mean, I wouldn't really necessarily recommend it, but this is what I did. So those dark spots that you saw, I wanted to bring out a little more color of the wood. So where the stain had kind of puddled up, what I did was I just got a sock and I put a tiny bit of paint thinner on the sock, so that way I could go back there and just rub it down. You can bring out the color of the wood a little more that way. So I mean, you can kind of reverse the process if you need to, even though it's still a little wet. But yeah, again, I would just recommend, you know, try and wipe it down really good the first time, and there you go. There's your stained product.